No, it's not Titanfall, you freaking Titanfall fans. And of course, it's not that cheap copy version of TF2, Overwatch. And no, it's most certainly not that Chinese ripoff version of TF2, Final Combat. Bet you didn't know that even existed, huh? Nah. I'm talking about Team Fortress 2. Before we begin, you're probably saying, oh, this man is trying to copy someone on why TF2 is the greatest game out there, or oh, this man is a copycat of this YouTuber. Now, this is based on my opinion. You can comment the things you dislike about what I say in this video. I get it. Everyone has their own opinion and I can respect that. So don't take the I'm about to say in this video way too seriously, because people today always feel like they're being attacked when someone said something good or bad about something they love. It's just based on my personal opinion. Now I understand some TF2 YouTubers already made a video on why TF2 is such a masterpiece, or why it's still the best first-person shooter out there. Of course, you probably know the reason why. Others say because of the characters. Others say it's the comics. And others say it's the first-person shooter with hats, not skins. Hats. The list goes on. Now let's go to the reason on why I love TF2. It's pretty simple, really. I'll give you one word: variations. That's what made me fall in love with the game. The characters you play as is different from each other. They are so unique from each other, and they all have their strengths and weaknesses. Of course, we have 9 classes, and that start off with the handsome stickman, the American hero, the Australian flamethrower massacre, the big Russian boy, the classic Charlie, the Mr. Scotty, the I lost my medical license but that doesn't stop me from experimenting on you, the P-Man, and lastly, the French fries. Now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about the 9 classes in Team Fortress 2. Now I'm just gonna make this simple and easy to break down so the video doesn't take over 20 minutes before I get to the outro. We'll talk about their pros and cons and I'll give the conclusion after that. Of course, we have Scout, a really handsome dude that somehow never gets the girls. I mean, seriously, this man has pushed the limits of handsomeness to the next level, to the point where I get so anxious about my face and I want to hide inside my room for the rest of my life. Okay, I may have gone overboard there. But anyways, Scout, or as I like to call him, the definition of cancer. I, for the love of my life, can't deal with Scout. He's like a rat that's always ready to pick on you when you're low on your health. I hate Scouts. I hate good Scouts especially. They move and fight like they're Sonic in his prime and you're Dr. Eggman in your late 50s. I mean, take a look at this clip and tell me there's nothing wrong with it.
I don't know. Looks alright to me.
Scout is the fastest class out of all of them, and because of that, he's great with capturing the point, which I don't understand. Even my physical science teacher can't understand how this man is able to push a cart that possibly weighs a few hundred pounds, possibly exceeding 1,000 pounds, twice as fast as a heavy judging by the look at the size of his body. My boy definitely taking some steroids underneath all that skinny ass body. Well, it is a video game after all, so I ain't complaining too much about it. Now let's talk about the pros and cons. Of course, Scout is known for his absolute insane speed and his double jump. I mean, he can literally just pop right in front of your face, scaring the absolute shit out of you. Well, me most of the time. No, come on! His weapons are also pretty good and pretty bad, like the scatter gun. Basically, shotgun, but for a handsome boy. The soda popper, pop that gives you an extra jump. Wait a minute. You're saying I can have more jumps than double jumps? I'm sorry, but why give this double jumping handsome man an extra jump? To make it worse, there's also a bat that grants him extra jump. Okay, maybe I'm being too harsh on my boy. He does have a fan of war, which is pretty bad. We also have the soda for him to become invincible. Okay, let me just rephrase that. This man is fast as a Sonic, but also has the ability to jump multiple times and become invincible. Now you know why I hate this class. I think people would disagree with me on that. I mean, there's another class that is also the definition of cancer, but we'll talk about him later. But other than that, all the good stuff, let's go on to the bad stuff. Of course, he may be fast, but he has the lowest health along with engineer, sniper, and spy, which makes him the most fragile class out of all of them, unless you have your skill with you. Of course, scout requires great aiming skills because you're constantly hopping around making sure you're not just a sitting duck ready to take the bullet all the time. And there's nothing more to it other than that. So basically, scout is good with dodging, has weapons to give him more advantage more than he already has, but he requires quite a few aiming skills to go along with him, otherwise you're just a free kill to your opponent.
If fighting is sure to result in victory, then you must fight. Sun Tzu said that.
Next up, soldier. Now I pretty much don't have anything to say other than yeah, this is the Chad when it comes to head-on battles. Soldier, also known as the rocket launcher shotgun guy, is just an absolute beast at everything. Like when you see a soldier with such a try-hard look cosmetics plus a medic girlfriend, you pretty much have no other choice but to take the L and wait for the match to end, or in your situation, wait for the execution. Because that's what it always feels like when you lose a match. Every pro soldier know how he plays. He shoots rockets 90% of the time, getting points every 2 seconds, and eventually getting random crit because crits are guaranteed based on how good you're playing. Which is kinda BS if you ask me. I mean, it is a blessing when you kill someone with it, but it's BS when you taste your own medicine. He flies around by shooting rocket at his feet and drops rocket at his enemies. Pretty simple class to play. Of course, soldier isn't all about flying in the air and delivering swarm of rockets down to his enemies like a prime delivery mailman in your neighborhood. He also has some other alternative playstyle like using the Liberty launcher and a panic attack. Basically, a walking man with a rocket launcher and a shotgun. With this combo, you're basically Doomslayer mowing down enemies. With the Liberty launcher's fast switch along with the panic attack's fast switch, you're basically a dual gun guy. Minus the fact that your main weapon is a rocket launcher. But you get the point. And how could we forget about Trollger? Okay, look. I'm not really good at Trollger, alright? I never even once tried until I decided that I want to make a video about how I love TF2. And with that, I need a few clips of Trollger, which is not very professional, but you get the point. But I'm still too much of a newbie that I don't even want to play competitive mode, strictly because players there are tryharders, and I don't want my ass getting scolded like my mom used to do when I was still in junior high school. Thanks, mom. Soldier jumps around the map equipped with a rocket launcher that causes 0 damage to anyone, including himself, along with a shovel that is called Market Garden. Really creative name, by the way. So yeah, Soldier is by far the best class to play as, strictly because he's fun to play as, he grants you points for not even trying, and you may even get a medic's beam shoved up your ass if you're just that good. But anyways, enough of that, let's go to his cons. Yeah, I think you understand the counterpart of this American dream, and let's talk about him right now. Pyro. This class is known to burn everyone in his path. He's by far the easiest class to learn, specifically because you just press this and combine that with a W on your keyboard and watch the world burn before your eyes. And that's all to it, really. Nah, you think I was done with him? No. There's actually a lot of playstyle for Pyro, like his typical flamethrower, a playstyle that's just, you know, WM1 and rarely uses the air blast. Second playstyle is Reflector, a Pyro who literally uses air blast as his main weapon. This player is common to go after projectile class like Soldier or Demoman and would constantly threaten them with fire and dares them to shoot rockets or grenades at his face, only to taste their own medicine. Third playstyle is the Jetpack Joyrider, a Pyro who commonly uses his jetpack equipped with a back burner and land behind enemy lines. Basically, Spy 2.0. And lastly, we have... Yeah, I think you get the idea here. With the power of Slug, he is the definition of cancer, which some players would say. I mean, this man is just unstoppable, especially when he has a medic with him, along with Uber. Everyone would definitely leave the server the moment they get hit with this combo. Of course, the real downside of this Slug is, you know, doesn't have air blast. Isn't that great?
No.
I never really used the main Pyro back in the day, but let me tell you, he's great with clutching games, especially with air blast. This man is like the prime of God himself, minus the fact that he loves the flame, which kinda makes him more like the devil rather than a god. Of course, Pyro is also perfect for checking for spies. Other than that, I love the playstyle of Dualies, same as the Soldier with his Liberty Launcher and the Panic Attack, but this time it's the Degreaser and the Panic Attack. Of course, Pyro also needs skills for his air blast if you're gonna really rely on him dealing damage. And trust me, it took me a couple of months before I start to understand on how the air blasts work and when the timing is right. Using the jetpack is also fun. I just love jumping from the sky trying to avoid all the chaos, and a few seconds later I just stomp on the enemy's head like I just gave them the biggest leg drop in the history of gaming. As a Pyro, you have so many ways to use this weapon to give yourself advantage. Like if you're running towards the battlefield and you don't have a teleporter, Power Jack has your back. If you're in a tight situation and you really need to get out of there in style, Thermal Thruster has your back. If you're struggling fighting against flying wieners, Flamethrower's Air Blast has your back. If you want Engineer to be your husband, okay, you probably can't do that. Now I really can't find a weakness for Pyro other than Sniper or Engineer. Sure, his Slug may be the powerful one out of all the Flamethrower he has. It just suffers from having no way to counter a rocket when you really need it. It's up to you whether you want to show the world how to bring the Pyromania into the battlefield, which is about to be a typical Pyro that air blasts the enemy's projectiles, help the NG for spy check, put out your team when they're on fire, basically the supportive Pyro, or just go full on Australian Flamethrower Massacre. It's just really up to you at that point. Hey you, yes you. I'm thankful for you for watching this video. I was kinda hoping that this would be a one single video, but judging by the fact that it's already been 13 minutes, maybe I'm gonna make a part 2 and part 3 of this and just talk about 3 of the 9 classes. So I hope I see you in the next part. And also, my PC is running out of space because of this video. Anyways, enough of that. I hope you enjoyed watching the video, and I'll probably see you guys in the next video. Yeah, see y'all.